Let's get a check now of what's happening in the world of business. Our business editor, Kate Moody, is here. Hi there, Kate.
Hi, Tom.
Now, despite the deepening pandemic and struggles for French businesses, the French President, Emmanuel Macron, has been courting international business leaders.
Yeah, holding his now annual charm offensive for international business leaders. It's the Choose France Summit here in Paris. At this year's digital event, President Macron highlighted what he described as a swift and comprehensive reaction to the pandemic, both here in France and across Europe. He said that should help reassure companies about their future here. Take a listen.
We do prepare the next decade and our country and our continent for 2030 with four major issues: education, health, green and digital. We are implementing a 100 billion euro France Relance with three key objectives: speeding up the greening of the economy, increasing French competitiveness, and developing skills to reduce unemployment.
Well, for more, we can speak to Julie Teigland, Managing Partner for Europe, the Middle East, India and Africa at the consulting giant EY. Thanks for joining us this evening. You attended some of today's digital Choose France events. What stuck out for you from President Macron's remarks?
Actually, Kate, first, it's a pleasure to be here. What stuck out for me was really his optimism about the future. He outlined a great plan, including education, health, the green economy, and digital, which really aligns to what we see happening on the back of COVID-19, giving us a lot of optimism and momentum for the future for companies as well as governments that are willing to go in this direction. I thought that was really unique.
Now, in 2019, France took the top spot in Europe for foreign direct investment, according to a survey by your company, EY. How has it been faring since the pandemic struck? Do you think it's going to be able to maintain that top ranking?
You know, I do think France has got a real chance for that. Do you know that over 43% of those surveyed viewed France as offering the most credible and investment-friendly recovery plan ahead of the UK and just slightly behind Germany. So they're within reach of maintaining that top ranking. They've done a lot in terms of reform, not only in the labor market, but also in terms of strengthening their approach and investment on digital and incentives to really move the companies forward in terms of investment.
What do we know about how businesses are planning for the, say, medium term? Are your clients in Europe in particular delaying or canceling future investment plans, or are they going ahead?
You know, to be honest, I don't see that the investment is increasing at the current stage. I think we're still fairly cautious, but we do see the investments not being canceled, only slightly delayed as back at the COVID pandemic. We see this as a real positive sign and actually a reward for those economies that have invested in the right infrastructure to attract those investments, for example, in digital and education.
Julie Teigland of EY, thanks so much for joining us on France 24 this evening.
Thank you.
Well, a new report by the anti-poverty group Oxfam has highlighted growing inequality around the world. Describing the pandemic as the inequality virus, the NGO says billions of people have been left poorer and could stay that way for over a decade. Its findings point to what's been called a K-shaped scenario. That would mean a robust recovery for the upper tiers of the economy with a consistent worsening for those on the bottom. Take a listen.
One thing we've seen is the 1,000 billionaires have actually recovered their pandemic losses in 9 months. So they were mostly in the stock exchange. So that has recovered and their wealth has recovered. Whereas for the millions and billions in poverty, it will take more than a decade, possibly 14 years for them to go back to pre-pandemic levels.
And the numbers here that are being talked about, Tom, are really pretty astonishing. The world's 10 richest men have seen their fortunes grow by over $500 billion over the space of just the last year of the pandemic. And that's a figure that would be enough to help vaccinate the entire population of the world.
There's definitely some big gainers out there. Thank you very much indeed. Our business editor, Kate Moody. Thanks. That's it from me. I'll be back in 3.5 minutes. Don't go away.